Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the online celebration of the Award for Civic Arts Organisations 2023. Over the next 40 minutes, I will be joined by guests and partners to celebrate the achievements of this year's shortlist. We will also reflect on the movements of arts organisations that are putting the needs of their communities first for a more equitable and creative future. I am here at the UK branch of the Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation, where I'm joined by my colleague Louise Geronimo, Director of Equity, and by Baroness Deborah Bull, the Chair of the panel, who will announce which organisations are sharing this year's prize fund of £150,000. Other speakers will join us remotely from around the UK, and I invite you all to use the chat function to introduce yourselves and show support for this year's brilliant shortlist. Back in 2020, when we launched the award, the aim was to spotlight how arts organisations are enabling positive change within communities. At the Foundation, it's our shared belief that arts organisations are critical to making culture more accessible and society better. The award was born out of the UK branch's Civic Role programme, which called for publicly funded arts organisations to put community engagement at the heart of their work. The award is now a key initiative of our international Access to Culture programme, which advocates for the transformational power of arts for society and individuals in the UK, Portugal, and beyond. The first two editions of the award took place against the backdrop of a global pandemic. The applications showed us that despite having to deal with massive disruption, the UK arts sector didn't lose its sense of purpose. Rather, organisations of all kinds seized the moment to concentrate on what really mattered, meeting the needs of communities. This year's award, themed Co-Creating the Future, recognised how arts organisations can unlock the creativity of their communities to help shape a better future. We received 336 applications, the highest amount yet. The application showed us how co-creation is a cornerstone of a sector that wants and needs to become more diverse, accessible, and impactful. They also showed us that the journey towards co-creation will look different for each organisation and its community. Questioning is often more important than answering, and learning to hand over control is what enables genuine co-creation to flourish. Now I'm delighted to hand over to Alan Lane, a long-standing partner of the Foundation and a sector pioneer who has promoted co-creation for years as Director of Slung Low in Leeds. He will share his reflections on why co-creation matters in our difficult times, and will then introduce the 10 shortlisted organisations.
In the last month, an actor turned president turned greatest leader of our age, when he could choose to speak to any audience in the world, chose to open a film festival and asked the world through that festival, in our times of violence and discord, on which side should culture and art be? Are they still out of politics? With the war in Ukraine, the ongoing cost of living crisis affecting communities and heightened inequalities across society, what is the civic role of the arts? How can the sector play its part? I don't think our civic role is changed in these challenging times, but it has been made more urgent. It has always been the job of art to imagine better worlds, different ways of being, connecting each other in new ways. This is our role, unchanged since ancient times, right? But what has changed in recent times is the role of cultural democracy at the heart of this imagining. As large swathes of our communities feel left behind, grow disconnected from the middle ground, are abandoned by the market forces and the strategies of government, it is never more vital for people to have a stake in culture, to find worth in measure beyond the financial, and to create and curate meaningfully parts of their lives. That's the cutting edge of art in this decade: co-creation, co-curation, cultural democracy. Here in Leeds, we're having a year of culture under the leadership of Cully Thiari. Leeds 2023 is an organisation that understands the civic role of the arts and the responsibility organisations and artists have in imagining new ways of being and reducing the traditional gap between people in their homes and culture. In one programme, each neighbourhood has a host, a member of the community who's volunteered to ensure that the people of their place have access to the delights of a year of culture and the hard cash that comes with a festival like this. It's a transformative programme that takes power, real commissioning and curating power, and gives it to the city's communities. A simple programme that is transforming the balance within the arts sector, redefining what culture power is and where it does and where it should lie. Leeds 2023 started with a huge concert at Headingley Stadium, an evening of music and performance that celebrated the past and present of the city. Well, as many festivals have started before, right? Well, the difference here was you couldn't buy a ticket. You could only get a ticket by sending a piece of art, any form, any style, to Leeds 2023. Citizens responded, pouring artworks into the office and then filling the stadium in their thousands. And now Leeds 2023 is exhibiting the work on beer mats and at bus stops, in huge light boxes and on lampposts. The work of the people will fill the city. A population of artists. An act of citywide politics that reimagines value and worth, artist and audience. It is in these acts that we best perform our civic role, with the courage to imagine new ways of being, new ways of valuing and defining worth, and new ways of connecting with each other. The good faith that these connections can generate is worth every single effort. That's the side we must choose. That is our call to action and justice. This year's shortlist highlights how arts organisations of all kinds are pivoting to community engagement for positive social outcomes and incredible creative outputs. The 10 organisations work in diverse contexts across the 4 nations, all have co-creation at their heart. The specialisms and the communities they work with are very different, a testament to how the arts can benefit everyone, regardless of your background or situation. This tapestry of brilliant work is weaved together by their commitment to creativity, to address needs and enhance lives. The Albany in London is a cultural centre that supports a network of artists, organisations and the council to develop programmes that are relevant to local people. Working with all segments of the community, they co-create projects ranging from climate and refugee justice to youth mental health. They are pioneers of participatory budgeting and member-led models. The Barn is a multidisciplinary farm in Aberdeenshire in rural Scotland. They promote the well-being of the environment and human beings through art. The Barn operates as a performance space, an eco-activist centre of learning and experimentation, and a garden. They connect residents, growers, activists, artists and scientists to fight environmental degeneration. Entelechy Arts in London is a joyful and diverse community of artists and changemakers that work to dissolve the boundaries between art, well-being and care. Working with local policymakers, their programmes are created by and for people who often feel invisible due to age, disability or background, enabling them to play an active and visible role in their community's creative life. Golden Thread Gallery in Belfast is a visual arts organisation that works with refugee and asylum seeker children and women across Northern Ireland. They develop supportive and empowering projects through art. With communities at the helm of decision making, they co-develop workshops, multilingual art packs and activities that offer the place for self-expression and connection. Knoll West Media Centre is an arts centre in the Knoll West Estate in Bristol. They support social action through technology, arts and education. Their mission is to empower a community that is often described as left behind, seeing opportunities where others see problems. By giving the means of production to the community, their focus is on building a better future together, addressing issues from the climate crisis to local housing. Migration Museum in London puts the stories of people with migrant backgrounds at the centre of a multidisciplinary arts and education programme in Lewisham Shopping Centre. Working in partnership, they develop spaces to share crafts and build connections. They commission installations from local artists who work alongside people with migrant backgrounds to learn new skills and change narratives. Open Clasp Theatre Company in Newcastle co-creates theatre with working class women and girls excluded by society, helping transform their lives. They use workshops and productions as safe places to reflect on inequality and influence policy, tackling issues from prison safety to domestic abuse. Their goal is to co-create a future built on justice and equality. People United in Canterbury is an arts charity that works with the young refugee and asylum seeker community in Kent. They bring life experiences out into the world through art. With a focus on care and uniting the arts, health and social sectors, they foster spaces for sharing and learning and enable the community to share their stories through the co-creation of public artworks. Pop-Up Projects is a nationwide literary agency that puts LGBTQ+ children and young people at the centre of a co-created literary process. Working in partnership with educational and literary organisations, they bring the community together with writers. Together they create stories that allow young people to discover themselves, develop talents and build professional connections. Relive in Cardiff co-creates theatre with underserved communities to destigmatise subjects like dementia and mental health. Their methodology is based on collaboration and hope, with members setting the agenda and telling their stories with support from healthcare organisations. Through storytelling, they seek to build compassion, encourage debate, and remind us of our shared humanity.
Thank you, Alan, for being part of today's event and for the inspirational work that you do with your communities in Holbeck. It's great to hear your reflections on the importance of co-creation and the civic role of our arts organisations, and it's wonderful to hear your take on the 10 shortlisted organisations and the ways in which they're using arts within their communities to create real and lasting change across the country. It was a privilege for me to be invited once again to chair the judging panel and to work alongside a superb panel to select 3 recipients from the 336 applicants to this year's award. From the outset, we were impressed with the quality, range and commitment of all the applicants, which made the task of agreeing a shortlist and ultimately 3 recipients even more difficult. This year, the award focused on how organisations across the UK are championing co-creation with communities and using the transformational power of art for positive change. We all know that arts organisations and their communities continue to face many challenges, from dealing with the cost of living crisis and the continuing impact of inequality and social injustice, to tackling well-being pressures and the effects of climate change. The award has sought to shine a spotlight on those who are stepping up to support communities through co-creation and using the power of creativity to imagine and then to make real a better future. The panel and I had the privilege of meeting all 10 organisations and members of their communities. The stories they told us left us inspired, moved and in awe. We saw how they are trailblazing new methods of co-creation and putting their communities at the centre of decision-making. We heard how many are working with the social sector to create change at policy level. And we learnt some of the key ingredients to genuine co-creation, breaking down hierarchies, listening and responding, challenging assumptions, and actively making, but then learning from mistakes. As chair of the panel across the years, I've witnessed at first hand the impact of the award. Previous recipients and shortlisted organisations have told us how the recognition enabled them to scale their work and create more impact within their communities, while growing their profile to influence and inspire others too. They've also told us how the arts ecosystem is transforming itself to challenge orthodoxies and prioritise the needs of communities. The stories of the award recipients leave me full of hope for the future, and I hope they will continue to inspire others to remain committed to this movement. So, before I announce which organisations are this year's recipients, let's hear from the previous winners and find out what they've been doing since receiving the award.
the arts and culture enable people to imagine something different, imagine a different future that sees beyond the challenges right now, and then we can live that different future and make it happen.
Creativity cannot be harnessed, and out there, there's a lot of young people that have genius ideas, but we don't give them a chance because we're elders and we feel like we've got all the answers there. They're the future, so give them a chance, let them speak up.
We know by making beautiful, immersive, very involved artistic experiences, we can really educate people and reduce, some of the prejudice and stigma that's out there around people experiencing homelessness. So I think the arts is unique in being able to do that. It's unique in being able to move someone internally, to draw out people's emotions and to change their position on something through that connection that you can't get it anywhere else.
You see this moment when people tap into their creativity, and they're tapping into more than that. You see that, oh my God, I'm tapping into, all of a sudden there's an area of their life where they have agency, that they have agency over. And that is such an empowering moment.
Co-creation is really important because you're responding to the needs of the community, basically, rather than us dictating, we think this should happen here. So it all starts from those conversations and that collaboration.
For us, really, it's about working together and making space for people to feel comfortable and confident to be heard and to be listened to.
Co-creation is really about working with a community but listening completely and not having any preconceptions, and that really forms the research that you then kind of design the project based on. And again, it's kind of not to have an end goal in mind necessarily in the beginning, but to design that with the community, and I guess to expect the unexpected in all of that.
It's all about people and what the people bring in, and from the Studio Sanctuary perspective, it's people have lost a lot of who they are, and they come back in and we enable them to find the bits and pieces that they've lost, and that enables them to grow again and be the person, perhaps the person they were, but the person that they are now.
Winning the award from Gulbenkian was significant for its recognition of the deep work that we do within our communities, which is very important to us.
Receiving the Gulbenkian Civic Arts Award was a fantastic endorsement of a way of working, and indicated a trust in the organisation and a belief in what we do and what we can do without having to decide what that was going to be.
So to receive the award and the recognition was huge. We're a very small organisation, so it gave us a real boost to the whole of our team, and it was something that we were then able to talk about with other potential supporters of our work. So it was a fantastic thing to receive, and especially coming out of the pandemic as well, just for us to be able to test something new and to see that was kind of, that was seen as something important.
It was just boost morale, and it really inspired us just to go out and do more and more, and just that validation that what we were doing is making a great impact. But on the larger side of things, for us, it was a wonderful thing to be able to go out to funders and to trust and foundations and kind of explain to them why we won this award. And it opened up so many doors and so many conversations that with people that can help us going forward, who have now started to know about what it is that we do and get behind and want to support that in the future.
We are based in the north of Scotland, and we're known in the Scottish sector definitely, but it was a real moment for us to be recognised as a player in the arts and culture sector across the UK and internationally, and yeah, it felt very special.
We're super excited because in 2023 we're going to be opening our new site, brilliant cultural hub in Finsbury Park.
We're going to be running activity with people experiencing homelessness in the area, homeless families. There are like 140 homeless families in a hostel just over the road. There are people living in the park in tents. The site is just going to be very well used by everyone who needs it in the community, and together we're going to be making educational public programme for people to come and learn about homelessness, and also, most importantly, learn what they can do about inequality.
One of the biggest shifts in the work that we are doing at the moment is around climate change and its impact in places in the global south, which will then create more refugees around the world. And so our work looking at how we can support those communities going forward using arts and creativity as the tool to do that.
Working in the community garden will allow us to be more equitable, I think, working with more people, more different types of people, and giving them access to not only the great collections and the stuff that we do inside, but actually the great green space that we're located in.
This summer we were able to purchase a building next door, and we're planning to completely refurbish 2 of our buildings here in this art space and the one next door.
The 3 C's, what are they?
Create, connect, change.
I think those 3 words will underpin everything that we do.
It's wonderful to hear about the current work of the previous recipients and to be reminded of what co-creation can achieve. So this year the judging panel has selected 3 organisations as recipients of the 2023 award for Civic Arts Organisations. I'd like at this point to thank all the judges for the dedication, the insight, the generosity and the sheer hard work they contributed to the process. So a big thank you to Darren Ferguson, Ika Headlam, Philippe Diek-Tamer, Rachel Noel, Rhiannon White, Saad Eddin Said and Sydney Thornbury. It really was extraordinary to share this process with you. The panel agreed that all 10 shortlisted organisations were worthy contenders and pioneers in co-creation. And I know every judging panel will say this, but really this year it was incredibly challenging to bring the list of 10 down to 3. However, we did it, and the panel agreed that 1 organisation will receive the £100,000 prize and 2 will take home £25,000. So let me announce the first recipient of the £25,000 award. It goes to Golden Thread Gallery in Belfast. The panel was impressed by the safe, empowering and transformative space that you have created for migrant women in Northern Ireland. They recognise the co-creation journey that you've been on and the resilience and the tenacity you continue to show despite dealing with adversity and working within a challenging context. You truly champion arts for social change.
Hello, I'm Sarah McAvera and I'm Deputy Director of the Golden Thread Gallery.
And I'm Peter Richards. I'm Director here at the Golden Thread Gallery, Belfast.
We're a contemporary art space, but we're also building a permanent collection of Northern Irish art.
Actually, we're getting ready to move on from this location. We've been here 15, 16 years, and this is an exciting year ahead. We're looking to relocate and reopen in April 2024.
Co-creation is really essential to everything that we do because we're audience-led. By that we kind of mean that our mission is to try to be as accessible as possible. We really believe that there's no such thing as one story, that history and our past and our present are all made up of a multitude of stories and a multitude of voices. So that's what we try to do, to try to give a chance for people to be able to come in and have their voice heard. Winning this award for us, it means that we can take something that's been temporary and turn it into something permanent. As Peter said, we're going to be moving to a new space in 2024, and our plan is to open a process room where the community can consistently engage with what it is that we do and have a space for themselves and for their voices to be heard.
The award is absolutely amazing, and I know Sarah and the teams work really, incredibly hard to put across to you through a submission for work that we do and the work we wish to continue.
That really does mean so much. We're compared to some of the other spaces, it's like, you know, we're small, we're regional. You know, there were 336 applications and we've made it to the final 3. That's just astounding for us. And it's, I think, not just for us, but actually for the region. You know, the press that this will bring, having the support of the foundation is going to be beyond just us.
Many congratulations on this achievement, and indeed congratulations for all the work that you do. Now, the second recipient of the £25,000 award takes us to the southeast of England, where the coastline is the gateway to the UK for many people who have fled from unimaginable situations in the toughest possible conditions. The panel wanted to recognise People United in Canterbury for their brilliant work, which brings the arts, health and social sectors together, challenging orthodox working practices while creating a space for care and creativity for those people who need it the most.
Hello, my name is Janice McGuinness. I'm the CEO of People United.
Hello, my name is Luam. I'm the Youth Ambassador for Kent Refugee Action Network, and then I was also a youth producer for this project, which I really enjoy.
Hi, my name is Osama Shabkia, and I'm youth influencer for Kent Refugee Action Network, and I was supporting the youth producer Luam through the project.
Hello, I'm Chloe Osborne. I'm an artist and producer and collaborator of People United, and it was a great privilege for me to be able to support this process. We're People United. We're a small arts charity based in East Kent. We work in collaboration with our local communities, and our purpose really is to explore radical kindness and care through creativity, with the aim of making positive change happen. Receiving this award is really exciting. It's come at a time for People United that we feel like we're at a moment of step change, and in a sense this has acknowledged it, it's marked it, and it's given us a platform for moving forward into our next stage.
Yeah, the word means a lot to us. A lot of time, asylum seekers and refugees, when they come to the UK, they don't get a chance to hear their voice, and so being recognized by this awarding, it means a lot to us because we feel we've been recognized. People have taken us seriously, and then society can hear our voice, our feelings, our emotion, what's the truthful, our experience, not through media, but our experience.
So People United is committed to working with CRAN. We're committed to working in partnership together. We're planning for the next 3 years. What the award means is that we can start doing that now. So we had planned that we probably would be starting a bit later because we're in the process of fundraising. This award means we actually have a concrete start now. And that makes such a difference because keeping the momentum going, I think, is really important.
And also this will enable us to create more opportunities for the young people we work with, and also to empower these young people not only to take part in any future projects, but also to lead on them and to work with collaboration with People United, and from there to build their own profile. And this for sure will enable them to build their path for the future, either to go in the work path or the education path.
Some waves, some
Congratulations to People United, and we wish you and the communities with which you work the very best. And now it is my great pleasure to announce the recipient of the £100,000 award. This goes to an organisation that impressed the panel with a deep-rooted commitment to its community, to placing their stories centre stage, and to championing the power of creative expression in destigmatising issues around health and well-being. An organisation that's enabling change at multiple levels with a triple focus on personal, community and policy change. And an organisation with a vision for the future that is crystal clear: to create in Wales the first dedicated centre in the world for life story creativity, a place where arts practice and research are driven by the belief that everyone has a story to tell. Our warmest congratulations to the winner of this year's award, Relive in Cardiff.
Diolch
Diolch o galon am y gwobr hyn. Thank you so much for this award. This means the world to us, doesn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't it.
We would like to thank the Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation, the judging panel for believing in what we are building here in Wales. And we would like also to thank all the shortlisted organisations for the amazing work they do day to day. Thank you. My name is Karen Diamond. I'm the Artistic Director of Relive. Relive is a life story arts organisation based in Wales. We work alongside hidden and underrepresented voices in our community, and we co-create life story theatre, life story comics, and life story choirs to support the incredible voices of our community, to build awareness, to heal, to share, to reduce stigma, and I suppose bring us closer together and know we are not alone in this world. So yes, we've won this award, which feels a bit surreal and incredible. And we know the power of the arts to support our health and well-being, don't we? And we know the power of the arts can reduce pain, build hope, build creative communities, and it can help us to tackle some of the greatest challenges of our time, namely aging, isolation, loneliness, dementia, mental health. It really helps unite us and connect us through challenging times. Terry's one of our group. What does this award mean to know we can continue our work?
It's unbelievable, really unbelievable. Just when you think, oh well, time to hang your coat up, get up in the slippers. No, it's, oh my God, here we go again, fasten the seatbelt, hold on tight. It's great, it's absolutely fantastic.
So what this amazing award helps us with, it helps us to continue the work we're already doing. It helps us to train more arts practitioners in our life story methodology so we can reach more people, connect with new communities across Wales and beyond. And also, it helps us dream big. So it will help with building the first ever Life Story Arts Centre, a place of arts practice, a place of research based in Wales, but open to the whole of the world.
It's not just about the people in this room having a good time or feeling better about themselves, which we inevitably do. It's about reaching that person that is locked in a bed sit, no social contact, no self-worth, suddenly realizing what life, his life, doesn't matter, and that you have something to offer that will not just benefit themselves, but everybody.
This is a confidence boost like we have never felt before, have we?
Yeah.
So from all of us here, we'd like to say thank you, diolch from us in Wales. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you!
And well done to everyone in the Relive community. Our congratulations once again to all the shortlisted organisations for being an inspiration to the arts sector in the UK and beyond. And to close today's event, I will hand over to the Foundation's Director of Equity, Luis Geronimo, who oversees their International Access to Culture programme. Over to you, Luis.
Thank you, Deborah, and many congratulations again to this year's recipients and shortlisted organisations. Your work shows us the many benefits of the arts for society, from bringing joy to people in difficult times to social cohesion, even in the most challenging of contexts. We can't wait to see what you continue to do. On behalf of the Foundation, I would like to thank all of those involved in running this year's award, and especially to our panel and the chair for their commitment, passion and expertise. Thank you as well to the postgraduate students in the Department of Culture, Media and Creative Industries at King's College London, who have produced a series of case studies on the shortlisted organisations. These can be found on our website. We hope you find them useful and inspire other organisations to embrace co-creation and the civic role. Thank you also to everyone who applied for the award. You are a testament to how much the civic arts movement is growing. The Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation remains committed to supporting and nurturing this movement in the UK, Portugal and beyond. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good evening.